Okay, let's see here. Slippery slope with that logic. Yeah, I mean, I know. Like, yeah, well, let's just watch the video. I feel like I'm going to lose brain cells by trying to discuss this with chat. Don't understand that censorship is okay when stopping others from infringing on a third party's rights to physical and well-being. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to lose brain cells. Okay. This is the mount.
Aha! Well done, champions. We've snuck into the tomb of Sargeras under the very noses of the Horde and Alliance, and the Tide Stone is ours.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly easy, to be honest.
With the Tide Stone under my control, I'll have the power to open up the oceans and draw these mortals into my trap.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to draw the mortals into our trap. I'm glad you're happy with us, old weirdly attractive one.
Oh, I'm very pleased. Take the stone and let's get going.
Going? Are you sure?
Yeah, don't you want to take any of the...
How'd they get the Tide Stone? I thought we put that in Dalaran. I thought we put it in... When did she get the Tide Stone? They stole it? When did she steal it? You left it in TOS? Why? Why would they do that? This doesn't even make any sense. Why would they... Son of a bitch, man. Like, I feel like this whole Ashara thing is, like, it's so forced.
Other super powerful Titan artifacts?
Why would I want to do that?
Well, I don't know. They're just lying here, is all.
Yeah, it's about
I mean,
right.
While we're here, we might as well take all of the super powerful Titan artifacts, right?
I mean, it can't hurt, can it?
Don't be silly. What possible use would I have for all these other super powerful Titan artifacts that are just lying here unguarded?
Well, I mean, you do have an old...
Those are new patches, okay? Let's not use up all of our ideas at the same time, okay? By the way, I saw a clip of Taliesin trying to call me out for whenever I censored bad comments about one girl but not his wife. I want to reiterate my stance on that. If there are any negative comments that are, you know, they go over the line of refuting somebody's ideas into personal insults, mods, please time them out. Doesn't matter who it is. There will be no harassment on this channel. That's being censored. No harassment, no rudeness. You eat boogers, though? I've never eaten a booger. Not in my whole life.
locked up under you.
Okay, fine. Bring all the pillars of creation if it means so much to you. I'll meet you back at the palace.
Excellent. I'm glad she saw sense in the end. Put all the artifacts in your bag, Tally.
Sure. Uh-oh. They won't fit.
Tally, did you come here straight from Mechagon by any chance?
I might have
That's
done,
so ridiculous, dude.
Well,
There's
then
so
just
many
clear some
slots,
backspace.
man.
I'm sorry, it's not that simple, Evertel. I might need this machined gear assembly for recyclable parts.
Yeah, it's
You know
a
what?
real
Shana
cop,
was
dude.
right. Let's just take the Tide Stone.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's just lucky there are no guards here.
I know it's weird, isn't it?
Knowledge is power.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and yes, I know what you're thinking, this video is definitely a little bit late, and I'm sorry about that, but you see, it's been a pretty busy week, and what I mean is, it's been very busy with, well, important business thing. Okay, fine, I've just been playing 8.2. There's been cinematics and controversy and people absolutely losing their shit and very
He's
important
talking about
news.
me.
There's been lots of videos that should have been made, but I
He's
haven't
talking
bothered
about
any
me.
of that because I've just been playing
I was the one that was
8.2.
mad.
You happy now? I've been playing a video game for many hours a day and occasionally streaming, but always playing. So I'm sorry I didn't make all those videos and stuff, but on the plus side, I've got 7 essences and I think I've won the Battle of Nazjatar around 17 times, so absolutely
must play
no
Horde.
regrets. Rise of Ashara is here. We're going to tell you exactly what we think of it, what we hate, and what we like. We're going to talk cinematics and Thrall and Jaina and the future of factions and 6th month subs and store mounts and tiers.
Store mounts, okay, boys, here we go.
Stuck into this massive,
here we fucking
massive patch with its 2 new zones, Nazjatar and Mechagon, or should I say, the lost island of Mechagon, because people have searched for this mysterious place for centuries. Kurvo the Explorer is one of many who made it his life's work to try and hunt down this elusive island that absolutely no one had ever been able to find, no matter how hard they... Oh, look, there it is. It was just there all along, like literally in sight and swimmable with no fatigue. Anyway, the point is that after playing so much...
They should have done something to where, like, it's not just, like, right there. Because, like, imagine if it's, like... You're like, man, I can never find this house. And then somebody tells you, no, it's actually next door. And it's like, no, it's not. I've been looking for 10 years for this house. And like, no, it's next door. Okay, there it is. I mean, it seems kind of stupid. Lightning Storm like TOT. Yeah, you've got to at least make some sort of like a rationalization for it. It's kind of like Mists of Pandaria. Oh, it was clouded in the mists. Give me a fucking break. At least Nazjatar makes sense. Kind of.
Much 8.2 this week to the detriment of my actual career. I think we're in a position to tell you all about it. What we think is really great, of course, but also what we hate. And it's not all jumping jellyfish in that section, obviously, but I would be lying if I said I don't think the jumping jellyfish would make an appearance. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and don't worry, because we also won't forget that we are always wrong about everything as well. So we'll be inviting some help from our friends in the forums along the way. So, without further ado, here's the definitive review of everything we love and hate about 8.2 Rise of Ashara, okay? Go, 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 go. I feel busy. I know, this sounds like such a stupid thing, but for the first time in a while, when I log into
I agree with this.
I feel like I've got a lot that I want to do when I get there. It sounds pretty basic and fundamental
I agree
for
with
an MMO, really, doesn't it? But yeah, that feeling is definitely back with 8.2. And logging...
I think 8.2 is good. Like, the content objectively in 8.2 in my mind is good. Like, I'm not saying that Titan Forging is good. I'm not saying that Legion Legendaries were good. I'm not saying that the necklace is good. I'm saying that the content that was added in patch 8.2 is genuinely good. Mechagon, in my opinion, is the best outdoor content that Blizzard has made since Timeless Isle. There it is. I really think that it's good. I think Blizzard took a lot of risks with Mechagon, and it was one of the first times that Blizzard decided not to underestimate their audience as, you know, a bunch of grandmas that can't figure out where PvP vendors are, and they're like, we're going to give them 18 different things, a pseudo-profession, and a bunch of rares that spawn almost never, that drop items almost never, so they're going to be here for the next 5 years. Argus was way better? I don't think Argus was way better. I think Argus was about as good as Nazjatar. I should eventually learn how to pronounce that.
Into the patch to be green.
How much is Blizzard paying you? Here's the thing, is that a lot of people don't realize this. There are a lot of things in the game that I like. If I always complained about the game, nobody would pay attention to me. Because they would just assume that I'm always mad about everything, and so people could just predict my reaction and nobody would care what I think. The fact is that there are a lot of things about the current game that I like, and there are some things that I don't like. I'm vocal about both of them, because whenever you're only vocal about one, people just think that you're a complaining Andy and they ignore you. Like, that's all there is to it. You already do. Yeah, I'm vocal about what I like and what I don't like. 8.2 is just classic waiting room? No, it's not. What do you like? I just explained it.
With an awesome new cinematic and then 3 new strands of gameplay over 2 new continents gave me that overwhelmed feeling that you get from the beginning of an expansion. So it's fair to say 8.2 started with a bang, or dare I say it, a roar. Wouldn't you agree, Internet? WoW Patch 8.2 arrives with a whimper, not a roar. Oh, what is Blizz doing with our sub money? Because it don't appear they're using it to make content. Right, okay, well no, that's a totally fair take, I guess. I can only speak...
Well, they're making store mounts.
from my own experience, and I know it's been less than a week since the patch launched, and of course it's easy to feel like there's a whole ton of stuff to do now. Now is when it would feel like there's a whole ton of stuff to do. It's later that it all starts to go wrong, and that's absolutely true, but it's still a really good feeling to have multiple real reasons to play every day. My routine is to head into Nazjatar and do everything I can there, because I need that rep, not just for flying, which, don't forget, was the sole reason to do any of this back in Legion 7.2.
That's
but because
true.
I want the essences that those reps
The
give,
essences,
and if possible, it would
the essences are a great system that I look forward to Blizzard removing next expansion and then replacing with a worse system, at which point they will iterate on and improve, and to the point where it's actually pretty good at the end of that expansion, and then they will remove it after that expansion. So yeah, I think the Essence system is actually a great idea. I really like the fact that Blizzard is doing it. We need more character customization, and Essences do that. I want to have these systems expanded on, not replaced every expansion. Do it like PoE. Every fucking league, there's something new. And there's also, you can do this shit from the old league too.
Lovely to get rank 2 versions before the new raid opens in just over a week. Likewise for leveling my followers. I mean, I say followers, that's a bit misleading actually, because it implies there's more than one. But in a world where Blade Master in a while exists, honestly, why would you need like anyone else? And because the
other ones are better.
Is linked to follower progress,
that's why.
That's extra reason to be taking it seriously. And also because Blade Master in Iwari takes everything very, very seriously.
Yeah, the other ones are better.
Today, bury me where I die. My spirit will watch over the battlefield for all eternity.
No, it won't. It'll watch over the battlefield for 5 seconds, and then you're going to respawn and go back into combat. I don't even think they have a death animation. They just disappear.
My rounds because rep, and usually the battle for Nazjatar pops while I'm there, so obviously I've got to kill some Horde scum, unless I'm on a Horde character, obviously, in which case I've got to kill some Alliance scum. More on the battle for Nazjatar soon, by the way. Oh, and that weird purple skull thing that appears in the center of the map every now and then too, because if you get there quick before Ashara's big bad humongous invincible world boss gets like instantly killed, then you'll get 150 rep tokens for that too. And if this was any other mid to late expansion modern WoW patch, that would be that. But once I'm done with Nazjatar, I suddenly remember that Mechagon exists, so I head over there. And look, I have to admit that for the first couple of days, I didn't really get Mechagon.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
After doing the initial quests, I'd make a short flight up after wrapping up Nazjatar business, do the new quests that had popped, and then just sort of
you'd leave.
Wonder what there was to do, run around aimlessly for a bit, and then move on. Like, going to Chromie's Alternative Future was fun and everything, but despite how characterful and fun and beautiful the island is, and how much I love everything about how it looks and sounds, and how ready I was to adore it, I always left Mechagon feeling a little bit disappointed. And that was going to be my take in this video. But then, on Saturday, when, yes, I really should have been writing this video, Mechagon just clicked for me. I had done the new quests, and they were fine. I made new trees grow out of dead stumps in some kind of Azeroth new deal, and I was totally down with that, and I was just starting my aimless wander of slight disappointment when I came across a weapons table that I spent some spare parts to complete, then put on the mother-shitting rocket pack, and spent the next 2 hours flying around the island hunting rares. I unlocked a whole ton of new blueprints, which I really want to make. I'm closer to my Meccano cap, which, yeah, I know everyone already has, but I spent all my supplies on rocket packs, and then on new essences, which I unlocked when I hit Honored with the Rust Bolt resistance.
There you
and
fucking go, dude.
The whole point of Mechagon
there
is
you
that
fucking
it
go,
expands
dude.
out like a sheet of paper unfolding, and the more you do there, the more opens up for you to do. It keeps getting better and better, and now I look forward to heading over there every day after Nazjatar. But that's not all that's on my to-do list, because I've also been bopping Mythic Islands with my homies, initially to, again, unlock...
Okay. Okay, we get it. You like 8.2. That's too far. Whoa! Get there! Watch me get the mount real quick. Watch me get the mount right now. Watch me get the mount. Watch me get the mount. Fucking hate this game, dude. Fuck this stupid game.
An essence, and then to upgrade that essence,
I didn't get it.
Then because I needed to win a PvP island for part of another essence. Okay, internet, can we just take a moment here, please? Because I ran and won a PvP island expedition, and it was fun. I mean,
we need to do that, man.
Obviously, but for that 10 minutes,
we actually really need to do PvP island expeditions. Like, I don't know, I wanted to do that with Meccano, but for some reason we didn't fucking do it. At a certain point, we are gonna actually do a PvP island expedition. We might actually even do that today. Yeah, we could actually do like actual content today because I need to do it for the PvP thing. 15-minute queues? Yeah, it's about right. I'm sure somebody will queue into us though.
It was fun, and I've totally done that now. And then, because I really want to get to level 55 on my Heart of Azeroth before raid, so A, I can have that sweet minor power slot unlocked, and B, so I can upgrade another essence. At this stage, it might be worth warning you to not attempt any drinking games with this video where you take a shot every time I say essence, because if you did, then you're already dead, and I'm very, very sorry about that. Then, when I get through all of that, I hop over to my Herbing Druid alt to run around Nazjatar for a bit, because I need
has that rare up on their server,
Zid and Thid to make my new 440 level alchemy trinket, because
That's
we've
a
got
lot.
a world
Holy
first
shit.
to win and prove ourselves once again the best guild in the world with a name a bit like Immortalis. This is hours of content every single day. I haven't even started thinking about gathering up all the new mounts and collectibles yet, and it feels great.
That's the only thing I've been thinking about.
That, right, Internet? We can all agree it's good to be busy. I'm glad that every day there's a new Nazjatar quest that's more frustrating than the last. What an absolute joke. This place is worse than Argus. I don't know why they make these zones so frustrating that they're at the point where they're unfun. Okay, so
somebody can't handle jellyfish. Some dumb motherfucking kid. Farming the same rares every day equates to content? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I'd say that's just as much content as anything else. Like, what else is content? Killing the same bosses every day? Doing Molten Core every week? Farming the same Winter Saber trainers every day? Doing the same dailies at Netherwing every day? What really is content? How do you define content? What creates content? The only thing that people really want are situations that cause players to interact with each other, which is what changes the monotony of that content. Mechagon facilitates interactions, and I think that's why it's a good zone. There it is.
yes, we will address the...
You want Classic? Oh yeah, I forgot, because playing in Classic, see, let's keep this in mind. See, in Classic WoW, there are infinitely many things that you can do. Like, you can infinitely do Molten Core. You can infinitely do BWL. And you can infinitely do Nax. Wow! And then, oh wait, you can infinitely do the same BGs, the same 3 BGs. You guys are very naive if you think that Classic is going to be infinite content in a way that current WoW isn't. The only thing is, like, current WoW has a lot more to do and it doesn't matter, and Classic WoW has a lot less to do, but it does matter. That's probably the biggest comparison and the best, like, I don't know, like, comparison I can give you. Classic, you got professions, unlike new WoW. Yeah, so then what? After you get the professions. Then what? You don't have to even get professions besides engineering. Then you quit. Like, I mean, it's the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters is the social interactions that make the game last longer. Classic is really good at that. You're right. Mechagon is better at that than most other things in current WoW. There's a lot of people that are very naive. They think that Classic WoW is going to be perfect forever. There's a lot of people who are going to get bored of it very quickly. They're going to reach an apex in the game, and then they're going to stop playing.
Quality of that content.
That's the way it goes.
Here's the best thing. All of this stuff that I've been doing, all this hours of 8.2 that I've played instead of doing any proper work, since the patch went live, my item level has gone up by one item level higher after everything I've done. And I couldn't care less. In fact, I'm strangely glad. So that's my first big plus about 8.2. My most immediate and satisfying impression.
Actually.
Whatever you think of the content itself, there's loads of it to be doing. And there's a reason to be doing it. And I'm a big fan of that. But what about the content? How did Nazjatar and Mechagon rate?
Nazjatar and Mechagon, the saviors of Battle for Azeroth, or...
More clusterfish zones packed with mobs and shitty world quests so we can grind to fly our mounts over content.
I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be a picture of a screenshot of somebody complaining on the forums here, but, you know, it didn't really make it into the video. You win some, you lose some.
We've already completed.
Let's find out. First of all, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. Both of these new zones look and feel amazing. I know we always say that every time there's any new content at all because it's the one universal truth about WoW that we can all agree on, but genuinely, Nazjatar in particular is something really special. There's a color palette being used here that is richer and more imaginative than I think any other we've ever seen. The new puddle and water effects are magical and vibrant, and the entire zone manages to feel alien and dangerous, but also incredibly sad. Honestly,
I don't really agree with that. I think it just, I mean, a lot of it feels like Azuna. I mean, like, to be honest, it feels a lot like Azuna. The zone doesn't, like, the thing is that, like, a lot of the textures and, like, a lot of the designs and everything, I mean, and it's supposed to feel like Azuna. Like, it's not like that's wrong, right? Like, it should feel like Azuna because it's made with the same architecture. Like, if it didn't feel like Azuna, it would be weird. I think the good things about Nazjatar are going to be more evident once people get flying. Because I think the main reason why people get frustrated with that zone is because it's so hard for them to traverse around and get around because there's so many winding paths and like bullshit things that they have to deal with. But whenever they actually have flying, I think that most people are going to be much more okay with it.
I think Nazjatar, wherever it is, because the game really doesn't want to show us where it is, which I find slightly annoying, but there we go, is the most forlorn and regretful environment we've ever been given to explore. Some of the choral as in singing, not coral as in big knobbly pink reefs. Music in the ruins of Zinashari is so full of yearning and sorrow, and there's a really impressive sense of a people and civilization lost to the waves. Except they haven't been lost. They've been changed into voidy gill people. And those Naga stronghold parts of the zone with their bioluminescence making everything a deadly fish disco are awesome too. And, if you're not careful, really dangerous. We've talked a lot on the channel recently about how we wanted to see the mobs in Nazjatar provide a real threat to our characters, and actually, surprisingly, some of these Naga mobs hit really hard.
I agree with that.
Especially in those areas where the previously underwater city is and where the mobs are most densely arranged.
Yeah, some are actually pretty hard to kill.
It's incredibly easy to end up pulling far too much at once and getting absolutely owned. And this is great! I mean, we would have gone a lot further with it, but it's still much meaner than we were expecting and makes traversing through some areas of the map genuinely fraught. It's good.
Here's what's too easy about it. Is that the mobs, the elites, don't do enough damage. It's like classic WoW beta, but actually true. The elites don't do enough damage. They have enough health. Like, the elites are fine. They have more than enough health. They don't do enough damage. So you can just aggro all of them. They do like twice as much damage as a normal mob. They're just, they're damage sponges. Like, it's not cool. Like the elites back in like BC and Wrath, like if you saw an elite out in the world, it's usually like, oh fuck, that guy's gonna beat my dick off. But now it's not a big deal at all. Really just at full health all the time? Yeah, I'm sorry to say there's no danger. Yeah, there's not really a lot of danger. They should have had more all elite zones in Nazjatar, and they can even do this now. I mean, they can patch it in if they want. And make group quests that you have to do and go into those zones that you basically need a 5-man group to do. And make the mobs in that zone only taggable by up to 5 people, which would mean that people would have to compete for tags, and you'd actually have to group up with other people, and that way you wouldn't just be able to get all together and everybody's all a team and people love each other. Right? Yeah, make it a 5-man dungeon. That's what I'd like to see. Some of the world quests are 5-man quests. Yeah, but they're a joke.
Because once the raid and new dungeon are here, then we're going to gear up and none of these mobs will be a problem at all. But for now, in the opening weeks of the patch, it's refreshing to have that sense of danger back in the game. I mean, we all wanted that, so we can all agree that this is a good thing, right, Internet?
Nazjatar is a nightmare of kill one mob and 50 more come at you.
That's
hey, let's
true.
make Nazjatar feel dangerous. No, not really. Let's slow them down as much as possible and call it content. Nice try, Ian. No one likes Naj. Awaiting the typical, but I do. Naj is amazing.
Oh, that's me.
I wish that, like, the thing is, like, a lot of these people that get mad, I wish that they would show their character name. Like, if this was an Asmongold video, I would show their character name, and then I would have overlaid on their post, right, their armory, with like an emphasis on their item level, and it's like, you know, like 384, and, you know, they're just fucking garbage. I mean, like, a lot of these people, like, they have no idea what they're talking about. And no, I'm not being toxic for that. And here's why it's not toxic, is because these people are talking about something that they don't even understand. It's like whenever you have all these groups of people talking about how bad it is to Mythic Raid, and their only raid experience is normal mode Siege of Orgrimmar from last year. Like, they don't know, but they don't know. Like, they're just talking about something they don't know. So whenever somebody's talking about something they don't fucking understand, and then you bring it up, they're like, you don't even have a basis to go off of. You're just listening to other people. Then yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid. Doxing people again? Yeah, I'll dox their armories.
I guess that's me. Yeah, I like Naj, so that's totally me. Sorry. Wait, don't hate us. There's plenty that we don't like too. Right, Tally?
Yeah, so it's all very well and good having lots of enemies everywhere and them hitting a bit harder than expected, but rip balance and feral druids who pull random yellow creatures and beasts from miles around every time they use any kind of ability at all. Like, the hostile mobs are enough, okay,
To
Blizz?
be fair, the Murlocs are pretty dangerous.
But do I really need to have everything on the continent with a shell coming for me every time I use Sunfire? And let's talk rares, okay, Blizz? Because, right, fair enough, I think you've generally done a good job there, especially on Mechagon, where the rewards aren't just collectibles, but the blueprints and parts you need to make the collectibles, and where often accessing or summoning the rare is a task in itself. But I'm not talking about Mechagon, right? I'm telling you what shit about Nazjatar, and the Amethyst Shimmer Spine is not a rare elite, Blizz. Let's be frank. In no universe is getting all excited about a star appearing on your map and hurriedly getting your—
Well, it's not a rare elite, it's a rare. It doesn't have the elite thing. It's not a rare elite. I'm pretty sure it does it. It does. I know the other ones don't. Like, let me look it up on fucking Wowhead. Let me see if this is an actual fucking... I can't spell amethyst. Like, I can't spell amethyst, dude. Like, okay. Fuck. Okay, just a second. I got it. Well, chat can't spell it either. Shit.
rare killing pants on, only to discover a harmless crustacean the size of a small child's fist, going to make me feel like a badass baller champion of my faction, Blizz. First time I was thinking, oh, it'll probably get all big when it gets to like 30% health or something, that'd be cool, but no, actually it turns out I just murdered a snail, and then I felt bad.
Well, you get a pet, what do you mean?
Which I admit did help. But I have other, more serious concerns too, like the battle for Nazjatar, because look, one of my big loves about 8.2 is how compact those two new zones are, and how wonderfully geared up they are to enable world PvP. Mechagon is hilarious in that regard, but I really love the Battle of Nazjatar. Battle of Nazjatar is a failure! Unacceptable that we are being forced to PvP again! I love when it's 5 Alliance versus 100 Horde in the Naj PvP event. Thank you for your time, and let me get back to helping my 4 buddies. Okay, so I get it's not everyone's cup of tea, but these guys do have a point. When it's good, the Battle of Nazjatar is very, very good, and...
No, it's not. It's not good. It's not. Like, they need to have more... The problem, like, what they need to do is they need to have different events that spawn during the battle that you have to, like, imagine like a supply drop comes down, right? Just hypothetically. A supply drop comes down and then Alliance and Horde have to fight over the supply drop. So that way it creates a more of a dynamic adventure rather than just holding nodes. It's just holding nodes. I mean, have I... Like, where is the bar for awesome here? It needs to be better than that. That already happens. No, it's not about it happening. It's about, imagine if you capture that box, it gives you 500 points. Now, if you capture the box, it gives you a 360 Aspirant Sword. okay? Like, I'm sorry to say, but it's really not that useful. Most battles are really one-sided. Well, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. And like, I don't know how they can really fix that. But overall, I think that they need to create other, like, secondary objectives in the battle that are exclusive to the battle being active. Like, imagine if they had, like, one of those, like, PvE events, right? Where you have to fight the mobs and, like, the big guy spawns, you kill the big guy. If they had that, and then the faction that tags and kills the big guy gets a huge amount of points towards their faction, that would make the battle much more interesting because there would be secondary objectives besides just sitting on nodes. It's boring.
Everything I hoped that it would be. Flags being taken and lost, big groups of opposing players clashing while masses of accidentally pulled mobs join in to really mess things up.
And another problem with it is the fact that you have all these bodyguards. Like, they need to figure out a way to, like, if the bodyguard dies in PvP, that it doesn't spawn for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Like, every battle that we have is 80v80 because everybody's got their fucking bodyguard. It's a massive AoE fest. It's a lag fest. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And you don't even get a debuff whenever the bodyguard dies. Like, it's just, oh my god, dude. The Battle for Nazjatar, it's a great idea, okay? Blizzard has a great idea. But I'm not going to say it's great in the current state that it's in.
Great. However, there's a fair bit of evidence to suggest that the sharding in Nazjatar is totally broken right now, because most of the time one faction will easily win every battle without the...
No, it's not. That's not the case. Here's why it's broken. Is because people, whenever they join Battle for Nazjatar, let's say a horde is down by 1. No, here's why it's broken. Let me explain why it's broken. It is broken, but why is it broken? It's broken because people join groups and then they server hop around until they find a group in which their faction is winning, and then it snowballs. Because then they're winning, and then more people join, so then more people keep winning, and then the other faction keeps losing because they're losing, and they want to join another one that their faction's winning, so it just goes towards the extremes, and you have 200 people in one zone where Alliance is winning, and it's Alliance, and you have 6 Horde that don't know what the fuck's going on. And so, yeah, actually the forum guy was completely right. And the only way to fix that is for Blizzard to lock people to each different server or battle group, which would be terrible for the game to begin with, because that way you couldn't play with your friends. So it's an unwinnable situation for Blizzard that's just always going to trend in this direction. I don't know what else they can do about it. The only way they can do it is if they could make less phases that people could be active in, or put everybody in the same war mode phase, which would probably set the servers on fire at Blizzard. So I don't think this would work one way or another. I have no idea how they can fix this. Or they could stagger it out. But then if they did that, that would be a problem too. There's a million different problems they would have, okay? There'll be more friends. Yeah, it's a lot of issues.
Other factions scoring any real points at all, which is weird. Like, Nazjatar is one single zone that you port into. Surely this is the easiest environment to balance the factions with sharding. For me, for the first couple of days, the Alliance won the battle so easily every time that there were literally no horde to kill to make sure that we got rewarded for the event. And so inevitably, every battle turned into us running riot through the horde-based new homes, slaughtering anything that moved. I've killed Lorthamar about 20 times this weekend, and I feel terrible about that, but you know, boy needs his rewards, so sorry daddy. Now obviously players have to take some responsibility as well. Obviously, if you find yourself on the losing side, even if it's close, it's just too tempting and too easy to hop to another shard where you're winning for the Rough fun times. And that's only human, I get that, but it must really mess with the sharding and make it impossible to balance. And you feel Blizz should maybe look at how the system works in Nazjatar, because this should be brilliant. I've had members of my guild who had war mode turned off all expansion previously, but who turned it on to complete the Drowning the Horde quest, which rewards, guess what, an essence, and were thrilled by how much fun they had, and are now total war mode converts, and that's great. Sigh, PvP for the best PvE essence. I may as well quit till 9.0. So
Then quit, you stupid ass motherfucking crying bitch. This is World of Warcraft, not World of PvE. You can't play the other version of the game? Fuck you. Stop trying to make the entire game built around just the way that you want to play the game. These people, you know what they are? They're a fucking cancer. They're a fucking cancer to the game. They want to have the entire game be like this little baby ecosystem so they never have to play the parts of the game that they don't like. Well, that's too fucking bad. You know what I liked about Mechagon and Nazjatar? Is if you wanted a lot of rep, you did pet battles. You hate pet battles. Well, that's too bad. You're gonna do them anyway, bitch. And it's good. It's good because it gets people to play the fucking game.
Being forced into PvP as a PvE player to get the best essences. Well done, Blizz. Clap slow claps, thumbs down. Yeah, no, it's great, okay? But seriously though, sort your sharding out, yeah, Liz?
And what about the quests themselves? The things we spend all our time doing when we're not camping the opposite faction base?
Who cares?
Well, they're generally pretty good. At the moment, the combination of world quests, daily bounties, and follower missions are good in Nazjatar. Partly because we are all so keen to do them all. Either because we need the reputation rewards for flying, or...
That's gonna go away. Like, the exalted rewards aren't good enough to keep people compelled. They need to create better rewards inside the Paragon boxes to keep people doing the reputation rewards over and over. Quadruple the Paragon box rewards. That'll keep people doing these quests forever. Give you more gold rewards. There's plenty of other things they need to do. The thing that everybody's doing them for now is reputation. That is, like, by definition, finite. Okay, people are already getting it done, and it hasn't even been an entire week. Do you think people, like, what do you think the drop-off is going to be? This is going to be like, imagine, like, this is it. Honored? Or, sorry, revered? Boop. Nobody gives a fuck. They need to figure out a way that it doesn't go like that. They already have the structure in place for the Paragon reputations. They just need to build off of that.
New essences, or because we want to level up our bodyguards for new story quests.
God forbid we actually finish something.
And when those story quests come, they're really good. The Bane rescue mission is a
kill
triumph.
The content.
Surely that's something everyone can agree on.
Reminds me of J.K. Rowling. Remember when Blizzard bragged about having real Ritters to do WoW's Stroy? You're here, seems to be working, Ollie Ritz. Everything that is wrong with patch 8.2 lore-wise. Why is Jaina touching Thrall?
Okay, not everyone. Sorry, wrong again. And the world quests are new enough so that they're still fun right now. I even really like the tricksy chest unlocking ones, to be honest. Yes, I am a girl, I play video games, and I'm saying I quite enjoy the line puzzle and the bejeweled chest missions. Hey, I even like the jumping jellyfish game. What can I say? After all, they're short and snappy and just a bit of variety, right?
Please remove this quest from the game. What masochist designed this crap? Who seriously made the friggin' Runelock chest world quest in Nazjatar? No.
Wait, is the Runelock chest, is that world quest up right now? Can somebody tell me if it's up? I want to go do it after I finish this. I want to go do it. Is it up? What's the timer on it? What's the timer on it, real quick? Let me log back over. There's always one up. I want to wait 20 minutes. Let me go double check, because if it is up, I'm gonna go do it right now. I'll show you guys how hard it really is. Just check the map. This character doesn't have world quest unlocked.
Rep is worth that kind of masochistic torment.
If a world quest is tormenting you, you don't need to stop playing the game. You need to start going to therapy.
No, shush. You're everything that's wrong with this game, and you're the reason Blizzard nerfed all of these missions within the first couple of days, so now my bejeweled unwind is over before it starts. Did you hear me?
Wow. Wow. There it is. Lazy fucking players are ruining the game. Finally, these guys are realizing it. This is what I've been saying forever. Yeah, she's a strong, independent woman. She doesn't need a forum poster to do her dailies for her. Okay? This is great. This is what we're waiting to see.
I said, you're what's wrong with this game.
There it is.
Very reasonable thing to say. Those missions where you have to pick up like 1,000 starfish or seaweed or whatever, those are kind of fun in the beginning because they get you out and exploring the new zone you've just arrived in, but those are going to get old very fast. And those follower missions, already getting quite repetitive if, like me, you focus on one bodyguard at a time because you want them to be the meanest, most badass bodyguard there is before moving on to the next one.
I'll do that afterwards.
Like, do we really have to do the same killing the sad ghosts quest every day. And it makes me hope that more story does keep rolling out, because once we have all the rep we need in a couple of weeks, world quests aren't going to be the enjoyable content they are now. So here's hoping Blizz have something up their sleeve for this content going forward.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean in a couple of weeks, there are people in our guild with 9,000 Rust Bolt and 5,000 Nazjatar reputation.
Losers.
You'll see your first flyers late in week 2, I think. Same for the
We already have them now.
quests. Right now, we've had a different visitor to Rust Bolt every day with new quests, and it's been really great. But presumably at some point, they'll start repeating too. True, Mechagon doesn't rely on the variety of—
Oh, look at that. Taliesin Avatar hosted my stream with their stream. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for the video. And now your viewers are going to probably— y'all are about to get to the Storm Out part. And that's where the real fun's going to be. Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. This is a great video, too. Thank God. Like, people are saying this. Thank you, guys. Let me read some more of these real quick. I'm just curious how to apply to Classic Guild. I'll put up the app on Twitter once I get through the current ones, man. Create a rally flag that requires a minimum amount of Horde and Alliance to click it and remove battle flag. Yeah, I mean, there's a million different ways. Oh, that actually could work, Kakio. Or Kaio, that could work really well. You think anyone who's started for Lich King will enjoy Classic? Absolutely, they will love it. Do you expect the Classic expansions? I don't know. We'll see. Here was good, buddy. Natalie, thank you for $5. Appreciate that. You considering making YouTube videos or main channel after Classic launches? Probably not. No, but I've got enough YouTube channels making videos about my stream already, so I don't really need to worry about it. You feel invested in your characters while you know that Classic is coming out? Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, Classic is going to be finite, whereas like the current game isn't really finite in the same way.
its questing content as much because of the building and collectible nature, but having something that feels new there every day is still important. So although, in general, the story and daily content in 8.2 gets the TNE seal of approval, mostly because of how the rewards are so good, we are very motivated to do it, I'm overall a bit anxious that there's enough here to hold till the end of the patch.
So the zones, the music, the essences, as rewards for gameplay, if not the essences themselves, I think we're going to have to get into Season 3 to judge that. Mechagon's unraveling layers of involvement, the PvP shitfest, the story missions, and the general deluge of things to do and targets to hit, all scoring on our Shillboy Lovometer, sponsored by Blizzard.
They're good.
Balked Nazjatar sharding, some repetitive dailies, and a vague worry that there's not enough to keep us going months into...
Boys, I know that it's a rare. Do you know how I know that it's a rare? Because look at the rare's fucking debuff. Do you see that debuff right there? That's a corruption debuff. Why is that corruption debuff on him? Because I put it on him. Why did I put it on him? So I can tag him. Why did I tag him? So I can loot the mount from the rare right now. Watch this. Twitch Prime if I get the rare. Actually, I'll gift 100 subs if I get the rare. The mount. Oh man, fuck you guys.
The patch, making up the Actiblizz Do You Guys Not Have Phones Worst Patch Ever column. Overall, a tentative win. I say tentative because I'm trying to be above it all, but in all honesty, from my own experience of the last week, I honestly can't stop playing Rise of Ashara. I wake up looking forward to playing it, and I stay up late playing it. In fact, in between writing that last sentence and this one, I actually stopped working for an hour because I suddenly wanted to go and do a Mythic Plus with my guildies to practice using Ever Rising Tide, an essence.
Alright, I never would do that, but that's actually true. I did the same thing. I brought my laptop over to my girlfriend's house. I pulled up Battle.net. She saw it. I never made it in game. Yeah, I never made it in game, guys, but I did bring it over to the house.
Which adds another really interesting layer of thought into a healing spec, which is already plenty complex and interesting. And now this video is going to be even later. I'm sorry about that. My guild is buzzing and full. Groups are forming all over the place to farm or find things. People are getting new mounts all the time, which is making me jealous because I don't really do that. And in just over 1 week, we have the new raid and a mythic mega dungeon, which is to all intents and purposes a 5-man raid in itself.
That's great.
Nothing can possibly spoil everyone's
He's gonna show the
good
storm out
mood right now. I mean, it would take something really stupid and bad to spoil this incredible goodwill, right?
Yep.
I mean, something really, really
Yep.
Okay, look, I'm sorry, okay? If I had my way, then I wouldn't even talk about this because I feel like everything there is to say on this subject has already been said. Or at least
in my video.
In angry caps lock tweets. I've already addressed this subject multiple times on this show, and I'm essentially going to repeat myself. So in an ideal world, this video would already be over, I'd be in Mechagon, and that would be that. But I know that if we don't mention it, people will go, oh, you didn't mention it. So, last week, mere hours after 8.2 launched and everyone was having great fun enjoying the new patch, except those of us who thought, wow, patch 8.2 arrives with a whimper, not a roar. Obviously they were doing something else. Blizzard added a new mount to the mount store, the Silverian Dreamer, and it's lovely, isn't it? It's all shiny and glowy and stuff. It's 19 British pounds, or your regional equivalent, just like it always is. Additionally, like the Dreadweight mount before it, it's also included with the 6-month subscription.
Absolutely.
For subs taken up before the 1st of August, but also for anyone with an existing 6-month sub with a future renewal date. Those are the facts, and whatever this product may or may not be,
they gave it to me.
Whatever my opinions on it, one thing this is not at this stage is surprising. This now follows a pretty established...
You're right. I mean, that's like if a crazy person breaks into a Denny's and they shit on the floor. That's not surprising. But it's still a disappointment, and it ruins everybody's day. I mean, just because it's not a surprise doesn't mean that it's good. I mean, really, you think about this. It's like a Happy Meal. No, it's like, yeah, it's like a Happy Meal, but you got the girl toy. You got the Barbie. You know, you got like this little a flower instead of you getting a little, you know, a little water gun or a little Mario outfit. You know, that's the thing. It's not a... Man... You're right, it's not a surprise. Blizzard's brought out, like, what is it, fucking 4 store mounts, and as somebody said, the last 6 months or something? That's insane. It's way too many.
Pattern of a paid mount being added to the store or a promotion coinciding with a major content release in the game. Undoubtedly, because those are the times when the most people are playing and invested in the game, and therefore the paid product has the biggest possible potential customer base. It's not rocket science, it's grade school capitalism. And one place they definitely understood that too, obviously, were the forums, where, okay, so most people are against the store, and most people would much prefer this mount was included in the game proper, but honestly,
that's correct.
It's not like we have a shortage of fun new mounts in the game at the moment, is it? So it hardly seems...
Well, we do, in a way. See, the issue is that, like, fun and new and cool mounts is... There's the rare. It's based off of the other mounts that are in the game. So if they brought out Ashes of Alar today, people wouldn't be as excited about it as they were back then, because there are already a number of other flashy mounts in the game. So whenever you're sitting around, and I think that WAD is the best example for... Okay, is this... Oh, it's satire? Okay, let's go.
Worth? No. It was a shit show, obviously. I think I'm finally done with this game. Like, done. Blizzard are dead to me. They give us a cool and interesting patch and then spit in our faces with a store mount cooler than any mount you can find as an earned reward. Don't buy it, it's a tarp! Another pathetic and embarrassing way to squander the goodwill you earned with the patch.
That's me! Look at that, that's me right there. See?
Store mounts are a cancer to the game.
Whoa.
Now, that last comment is from Asmongold, and in fairness, he also says something that I completely agree with. When you pay for an expansion and for a sub fee, you shouldn't have to pay for items too. And you know I agree with that, because I repeat it literally every time there's a new store mount, and we have to cover it on this channel. But just to clarify for those in the comments, I don't like the store. If I could click my fingers and make it disappear, then I would, but... Oh shit. Oh no, it's still there. I just sat on my mouse, sorry. The point is, I can't make it go away, and Blizz aren't going to stop doing it. So...
Yeah, they will. There's a certain amount of negativity in which Blizzard will figure that it will not be a good use of their time, and it will be so much of a brand withdrawal, and it will be so harmful to their brand that they will not continue doing it. They stopped doing them in WoD for that reason. They stopped doing them in Legion, in my opinion, for that reason. Blizzard, like any other company, cares about PR. If you create a situation in which the PR for a certain decision is so bad that it becomes not worth it for that company to do something, they will stop doing it. Like that, I mean, There are plenty of examples of this too. Shareholders do not, though. Well, the thing is that it's not as simple as just like the shareholders wanting it or not wanting it, right? I mean, like, yes, obviously every decision that they make has to do with making money. But my argument for this, as always, has been you should not make money as a company whenever it costs you your brand, at the expense of your brand. That's bad business. And the more that we tell Blizzard that we don't want that to happen. Okay, truth? No, okay, 50 IQ? As I said, I've already given you guys a very, very good example of this. Why do you think that a lot of people on Twitch don't do phone games and like sponsorship for phone games? I mean, they make money doing it. It's a sponsored stream. What do people think about that? Like, what would you think about me? Would your opinion of me go up or down if I did like, let's say, a sub-only stream? That's the same thing, right? Or this, like, if I did a video, it would go down, right? People would not like me as much, and they would be less likely to support my stream and be positive towards my content in the long run because I did something for a short-term gain. That's a very personal example of something that you can do that makes you money at the expense of your brand. So that's, I mean, like, come on, everybody knows this. I mean, the idea that, like, this is naive or bad business sense is completely ridiculous. Like, literally every Twitch streamer does this and thinks this. Didn't hurt Shroud. Shroud isn't taking every single... I'm not saying every sponsored game is bad. I'm saying certain sponsored games are bad. As an example, Asmongold ran an ad every 15 minutes. Well, that's a little bit different, but yes. Twitch is not the same as a business. Okay. That's it. Green Matthews. Green Matthews. Explain how Twitch is not the same as a business. We're going to pull up your logs while you're typing this, okay? Who the fuck? Did I spell his name wrong? Oh, is it 2 T's? They suck and are boring. I'm right here, bitch. Alright, well, we're waiting. We're waiting. What's the rebuttal here? Why is Twitch not the same as a business? I already responded? Okay, let me go to somebody else. I'll just find like some random person. Okay. Some person was talking shit, I probably banned him. Wait, he didn't say anything. Mario outfit? Oh, you were pretending to be retarded. Okay. Wait a second. We have a link. Just give me a minute, guys. We're trying to find the link. I'm doing my best. I literally cannot even click on it because chat's going so fucking fast. Just a minute. Okay, I have to turn on subscriber mode just for a second. Just so I can open up this link. And subscriber mode is going too fucking... Okay, there we go. Okay, here's what he says. Twitch streaming is not the same as running a business. Yes and no. I mean, yes and no. Just a second. Let me turn it. Subscribers off. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to make... Here's an idiot. Yeah, this is a dumb thing. So basically, Blizzard and Twitch both have basically customers, right? With Blizzard, you always have to pay money to be a customer. With Twitch, you don't really, right? And the same thing works the same with like different types of people that are, you know, like they're trying to have a public-facing brand that bases itself off of the perception of the community. Now, whenever you do something that undermines the trust or your perception in the community, that's damaging for that brand. Now, it doesn't matter if you're selling a video game or you're selling somebody watching you play a video game. The relationship that you have with your audience is the same because you're dealing with the same types of people. Now, this is completely wrong. The fact is that the same paradigm of Twitch streamers taking predatory microtransactions mobile games for sponsored streams and people not being okay with that is the exact same thing as Blizzard putting out a store mount. You both sell entertainment. Yes.
I, as a consumer, have a choice to make. I have to decide if this outweighs or spoils my enjoyment of the game, in which case I will unsubscribe from the game and play some other MMO. Although if
there is a gradient between hating something and unsubscribing from the game. So, like, for example, if Blizzard adds a tier set, like during Throne of Thunder, Blizzard added a tier set into the game that literally looked like a poop warrior. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you basically looked like a poop warrior. I was not happy about that. I didn't unsubscribe from the game for it, but it made me dislike the game a little bit more. And the point that I'm making is that every decision in the game does not like, what do you call it? They don't like the idea of, what do you call it? Sorry, I read something, I distracted myself. Where was I? Oh, right. I can not like something in the game while at the same time still play the game. Like, I mean, it's the same time. Like, I mean, not everything that you don't like, you don't have to unsubscribe for something to prove that you don't like it.
that's my moralistic standard, then quite frankly, there sadly aren't really any other MMOs that I can play, let's be honest. But that wouldn't be unusual. There are plenty of products that I refuse to buy and companies that I refuse to support, because don't forget, as well as being the world's biggest corporate shill, I'm also basically a communist, because that's definitely two things that a person can be. Thank you, YouTube comments section. But maybe it is enough for you to unsub, in which case, seriously, more power to you. But here's the difference between me and Asmon. Even though I think the shop is wrong for the exact same reasons that he does, and even though I'd get rid of it if I could, if you don't agree with me on that, I don't think you're wrong. I know plenty of people, grown-ass adult people with jobs and lives and houses, who love to be able to buy store mount for themselves or as in-game presents for their friends. And I know you don't want to hear this, but that's genuinely something that a lot of people like to do. And it's not because they've been tricked into it, because this is such a...
Well, people like buying gold too. Like from like third-party websites. Like, I mean, they like buying gold too. I mean, just because somebody likes doing something with their money doesn't mean that that's a good thing for them to do with their money. Like, I mean, it's a dumb analogy. No, it's not. How is it a dumb analogy? It's not a dumb analogy at all. People do buy gold. Yeah, people buy gold, and that's harmful to the game. The argument that I am making is that buying store mounts is harmful to the game because it's creating a reward for Blizzard for doing something that I consider harmful to the game fundamentally, because you're incentivizing them doing something that's bad for the game. I mean, that's where I stand on it. Buying carried runs is the same thing. There's a gradient to it, but there are certain things that are against the TOS. I think buying gold is the most easily accessible one.
Basic promotion technique that Blizzard probably read about it in a book written in the 1950s.
Yeah.
They know what they are buying. They are not fools. They're not less savvy than me.
You shouldn't worry about what people do with their THERE money. Yeah, keep eating the shit that Blizzard feeds you, and ask for pepper too. You're so fucking stupid you can't even pronounce things. You can't even type things. You're so fucking stupid it's embarrassing. Like, I mean, I'm sorry to say, but like the amount of people, the amount of fucking people that call me out for saying this shit, and they can't even formulate a properly constructed sentence to say that I'm wrong, is staggering.
They just don't find the store distasteful like I do. And if that's you that I've just described, I don't share your view because I hate the store, but I don't think you're wrong. And
I
I
do.
certainly don't think that you are the problem or cancer. And I'm certainly not going to...
I do. I'll say it. I think people that support those practices in the game are cancers to the game. I think buying store mounts incentivizes them creating more of them. I think the more of them that the people buy, the more often Blizzard's going to make them. I think the more often Blizzard makes them, the more often they're going to hold actual good content back from the game. Because they're going to hold more good content back from the game, that's going to make the current rewards in the game that actually do make it to the game less appealing, which is going to make the content indirectly less appealing because people don't want to work towards mediocre rewards, and then that's going to make the game worse. Yeah, I actually think they're hurting the game. Like I don't care if people think that's wrong. I think it is cancerous. Like I'm not sorry for saying that either. That's why I said to spit on them. They're ruining the fucking game. Oh, I can do whatever I want with my money. Yeah, of course you can. Doesn't make you stupid for doing it though. Not stupid for doing it though.
Go round /spitting on people riding the mount in game because my IQ 300 consumer champion brain has finally caught up to that of a vaguely angry 15-year-old. One thing I especially don't like is that even though you can buy this mount with your in-game gold, yeah, I know you hate me saying that you can do that, but you really can do that. So you're just going to have to get over that for a second, because if we don't admit that you can do that, then this next bad bit is going to be so bad. This time,
you can buy it with your in-game gold, but that money goes to another individual. Like, it's a different dynamic. Like, to say that you can buy the mount with gold is, I think, disingenuous. Because there are a lot of people that are able to do that, but that still is a cash purchase from Blizzard at some point down the line. Somebody spends money on that mount. It still creates a sale on the mount, one way or another. Yeah, it was me. No, I mean, am I wrong here? Like, there is still a sale that is being created if you are buying it with gold. And if you are buying it with gold, that makes the value of buying it with gold higher. Because more people want to buy it, which means that there is more gold chasing the same $25, which means that the supply is staying the same and the demand is getting higher. So you're going to get more gold for doing it, which incentivizes more and more people to do it. And then it just gives more store mounts, right? It's just more and more store mounts. Very true. Yeah, it's self-perpetuating.
you can't buy the 6-month sub with gold and get the mount. The Dreamer only comes with a recurring subscription, which you can only do via a card transaction. Now that wasn't the case for the Dreadwake mount sub deal, which means that Blizzard have purposely changed it for this. And I think that's a little bit sketchy, to be honest. But even more than that, even more than my dislike for the store, the absolute main reason that I don't like this mount is that I don't really like this mount. I mean, it looks lovely and everything, but it doesn't interest me at all because I prefer mounts that I've worked for. The reason I love my hippo so much is because, well, he's the best.
There's one hippo in the game too. Like, if we had 18 more hippos in the game, like we had with Boars and Wad, I wonder if he'd feel the same way about the hippo.
Most beautiful, glorious, round, roly-poly angel boy ever born, obviously, but also
river beasts are different.
Work really hard for a
They're not
really long
hippos.
time at a part of the game that I'd never played before and that doesn't come naturally to me to get it. That's why I like my pink artifact appearance so much, because likewise, it means something to me. Now, if store mounts somehow destroyed that, if they somehow impacted the things that I like and care about, then I'd agree that maybe they are a problem. But as things are, they're not. They're just a thing that I don't like, that doesn't actually affect me in the slightest. Less cancer, more...
Yeah, it does. Let me know whenever you get the Glory of the Ashara Raider and you're flying around on your Asharan Bloat Ray instead of this mount. And let's see how many times you ride that around. Like, I mean, here's the thing, is that these things are bad for the game. Because they incentivize Blizzard. Here's a good example, guys. Why is it so hard for people to understand it? It's because they don't... Because it's not a A implies B. It's an A implies B, which implies C, which implies D, which implies E, which implies F, right? And it's a multi-chain of events. So yes, obviously it's harder to pick apart the specific things, right? Well, let me give you guys an example. You look at these store mounts that are in the game, right? The Dreadwake. Wait, what the fuck is it even called? I don't even know what it's called. It doesn't matter. The point is still the same. The store mounts are completely unique. How many people do you think would spend money on, let's see. Let's find a great mount. This one right here, the Albino Drake. Do you think more people would buy the Albino Drake or the new store mount? I think more people would buy the store mount. It's because the more unique mounts are more compelling for people to buy because it makes them feel more special. Because it makes them feel more special, that creates a profit incentive for Blizzard to put the most special mounts in the store, which hurts the entire fucking game. Like, I don't see how this is hard for people to understand.
A blemish, or a paper cut, or a gentle sneeze. And just to make it clear, because I know I gotta make it clear, I don't like the store. I wish it didn't exist. But honestly, if you expect me to be more concerned with this than all the fun I'm having right now in game, then that would be a lie, because I couldn't give a shit. And if I pretended to give a shit, then the only reason would be to stoke your outrage so that I could make money out of it. And I'm not going to do that, because even though I am a massive corporate shill, I'm also basically a communist or something.
Hey, so I have a question.
Yes.
Are we ever going to talk about that Jane and Thrall cinematic?
The Jane and Thrall cinematic, Crossroads, I believe it's called.
Yes.
Yes, I
think that's calling me out, or calling anybody out specifically. Like, and if I'm being called out for that, I'll fully take it. I'll take responsibility. I care a lot about this game. It means a lot to me. I played it for many years, and I'm not going to go idly by and watch the game fall apart and die as people just let little different things infringe and eat away at the sense of reward and value that things in the game used to have. I played this game. Look at my /played. Where is it? I've got so many of these fucking things. Well, you guys probably can't see it. I have over 1,000 days /played on one character. I've spent so much time on this game. I've been pouring salt on my head over store mounts since before I even had a YouTube channel. This is an ongoing crusade. This isn't something that I've just invented to keep people watching the stream. Like, I've been mad about this for over 10 years. And I'm going to continue to be mad every single time. Your crusade is over? Not today.
I would love to, and I did promise everyone we were going to talk about it in this episode of the Weekly Reset. But as you can see, this episode of the Weekly Reset is about 15 hours long. And it just didn't feel right to put it in with all the other 8 points. Like a proper cinematic analysis in with all the other like 8.2 stuff. Because when the patch went live last week, even before I played it, even before I logged on for the very first time, I sat down at that desk just in front of us, and I wrote an amazing cinematic, even if I say so myself, of the first cinematic, an analysis.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a brilliant one, exciting. I was a bit worried that it was going to be very functional. I was like, it's just going to be like ships falling down a hole. Won't be much to talk about. But then there was all like the Ashara and the Zoth stuff, and it was really cool. And like, we ended up making a 25-minute video about it. And then, as I completed that video, like the Crossroads cinematic came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, we don't care about this video, Tally. You got to talk about the other one." And I was like, "Do you know what? It's a brilliant cinematic. I definitely want to talk about it because there's loads of important things and lots of like interesting possibilities that it brings up as well, besides the actual cinematic itself." But also, I actually want to play this game that I like.
Oh, I know, it's so hard.
Life is so
really
hard. Well, I was like, we want to talk about it in the Weekly Reset and stuff. It was my conscience telling me that I couldn't make a cinematic analysis without, I had to play the game a lot, or else, honestly, how could I talk about it? How could I sit there and talk to those people, Evertel, at home right now, and tell them I played the game when really I hadn't that much.
Fair, you have a point.
I owed it to you.
You have a point.
Yes. I owed it to you to play that game pretty much non-stop.
I mean, in theory, I could just play it all the time
and tell me about it.
I thought. And
It's
then
a good
we
idea.
Could just do the videos.
I mean, that's what you do anyway. So in my head, we were going to put the cinematic analysis in this episode, but it just didn't fit in this episode. So
That's fair.
if anyone even still cares, maybe I could be convinced to make it for next week.
Okay, but the thing is, I care. I
Okay.
really care.
Okay.
So, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, is there gonna be one big faction? Like,
Oh, okay. So this is the thing that everyone's been talking
Okay,
about.
this
since
is
the
this is
cinematic.
about the fucking the
And,
thing.
Yeah, the idea that because like Jaina and Thrall are like bezies again now, and they're
They-
all like,
she did
she
this.
went.
Reds.
Like-
That
and
means that she
punk
wants to have sex
and
with him.
speculation.
Like they've been best mates
Trust
for
me.
ages. There's been fanfic of them out for
I've
like,
watched porn before.
Decades.
This is guaranteed.
Like, that ship has been sailing
Yeah,
for a long
that-
time. If you know what I mean.
And there was one that was like, oh my god, like if you ever touch a man like that, that's not platonic. It's
That's
like,
right.
That thread was written by a man.
I've definitely touched some arms in my life.
Bro, me and you have got a lot in common. I feel for you, but you are wrong. What do you think? Do you think like next expansion, because they said, "Oh, let's all be friends"? Do you think that means that next expansion there will be? Well, I'll discuss this in the cinematic analysis if I make it. But
Yeah.
like, do you think that means next expansion there will be no factions and will all be one
No.
big happy faction, or just?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
I don't think it's going to be that. But I do think maybe there will be some like flexibility between people joining the Horde.
Oh, so you think there will be a
Alliance.
change?
I think there will be some kind of change. I think you'll still have two factions.
I hate this game.
But maybe there will be people who are faction curious
Yeah,
and
yeah.
want to explore.
No, it's really
other
interesting. Like,
factions.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think there'll be another change. I think there'll be a change in the way the factions work somehow. But I think there will both. I think they'll still be Horde and Alliance. I think they'll even be called Horde and Alliance. Someone came up with a really interesting idea that there might be like the Scryer and Aldors from Burning Crusade, where you like have a sub faction that
They
you
could do
kind of,
something like that.
work towards.
They could do
and
something like
would
that.
Be, light
Okay.
or void. Which would be quite fitting. So you'd still be Horde or
Yeah.
Alliance, but you'd also be like veering towards the light or the void.
Cool.
Kind of like a Paragon system, which I really like. I feel like that could work really
Okay,
well.
that could
I've
be
never
cool.
thought of that. That's really interesting.
Would you
I
get,
never
like-
thought about it. I made a
Shadrach
video
win?
about it 2 years
Fuck
ago.
that, dude.
Mate, Tentacle Overlord all the way. But here's the thing, right? Oh, there'll be no more factions because Thrall and Jaina, they love each other and they want.
They're gonna have
everything
a
to be
kid.
okay. Do you know what Thrall and Jaina have got in common?
What?
Neither of them are leaders of their faction. So, like, basically, it doesn't really matter what they think. Do you think this content
Yeah, it's
will
actually a good point.
see us okay for, like 3 months?
That actually is a good point. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter what the fuck they think. Who cares? Who cares if Thrall and Jaina are gonna fuck? You know, there's been plenty of weird shit like that happening. Fucking computer's doing a noise. I have to hit it until it stops doing the noise. Okay, it stopped doing it. Is my computer broken? No, it's Kateson. All right, great. Yeah, I just hit it until it stops.
825?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to know.
Don't
'cause
worry,
I'm
guys.
enjoying it now.
I
But yeah,
I took
doing it
computer
every
repair in
day,
school.
like,
I know how
I'll
to do this.
definitely hit fatigue at some
Yeah.
point. And then once I'm flying, I'll just be a bit like, eh.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm totally willing to grind those reps, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it because the rewards are so good.
Yeah.
Once I've got those rewards, it's going to be tricky to kind of keep that excitement, unless Mechagon kind of surprises us with how it
With
like
something.
unfolds. Yeah, yeah. Or
Yeah.
Nazjatar as well.
Yeah.
Because like presumably there's going to be more story after the raid, which
Yeah.
won't be very long at all. So
Yeah, we'll
it's
see
gonna be
about
interesting.
that.
Hope you enjoyed this episode because there won't be an episode of Weekly Reset next weekend because it is our wedding anniversary. And
wow.
we're going away for the weekend.
How
It's gonna be ever so
exciting.
romantic. We're going to Venice on the gondolas, and then we're going to Paris, and we're going to have wine and
Well,
meals
that's
and
nice. Look how
light.
nice
It's gonna
that
be so
is.
We're
good.
going to Bristol.
Look at that.
Going to Bristol, it's
Yeah,
going to be
we're going to
lovely,
Bristol.
but we won't be making Weekly Reset, but we might get the cinematic analysis out in the week. We'll definitely be streaming a lot of 8.2,
Heck yeah.
but
Okay.
just don't be scared when there's no Weekly Reset next week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hopefully
I
there'll
don't
be
know
no
what Bristol
news.
is.
I'm sure that will be the case. I'm sure there won't be any news
I
at
have
all.
no idea what that
Ah,
is.
thank goodness the storm out hit this week. Otherwise we might have missed it.
Oh,
Can
boy.
you imagine if we'd missed that? I'd be Thank you for joining us. If you like this video, don't
Okay.
thank us. Thank our patrons.
Alright, you know what?
who
The
give
video
their
is good.
actual real life money.
It's a good video.
To make
Just a
these
second.
videos happen,
Uh,
guys.
let me
Thank you
read
so
some more
much.
of these
We've got
too.
some more videos
Before
coming
I
up
get- you know
just
what?
For you.
We'll watch their
If you
ad,
didn't
okay?
like it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is Mad Season Show. It's not. My name. That'd be so disappointing. No, my name is Taliesin from me.
Good, dude.
Me, Avatar.
Until next time.
That's good. Okay, all right. You know what? That's okay. I do completely disagree with the storm mount perspective, right? I do want to get that out of the way. That is completely true. I do think even the people that buy the storm mount are being harmful to the game overall. And what happened to your hair? Bro, I wish I fucking knew, man. I wish I fucking knew.